Welcome to Privacy Now, your go-to podcast for privacy, crypto, and AI.
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Privacy and Talks with, I guess you're used to by now, Mate and Marco. Let me do just a small intro, then we can talk about other stuff as well. We do have a special section of conspiracy theories. I don't know if we'll have time to do it. If not, we'll just dedicate an episode to this. But today, we'll talk about the Great Protocol Attrition, how more than 40 DeFi protocols shut down, and over 770 million was hacked in the first months of 2026 alone. And it made April the most hacked month in crypto history. We'll get into why this collapse is fundamentally different from 2022 and what it says about the economic model DeFi has been running on. Then we're covering the AI layoff wave. I'm sure everybody saw Brian Armstrong from Coinbase post announcing 700 cuts and declaring the end of pure managers in favor of AI native pods. And Meta recently cutting 8,000 people with a leaked audio recording revealing Zuckerberg had been tracking employee behavior to train the very AI models, replacing them. No.
Is it a conspiracy theory or real?
No, it's real. It's real. Like
I thought you already went to conspiracy theory.
No. There's actual proof. The recording was shared online, and it actually is very true. And we'll try to break down Google I/O 2026. Where Sundar unveiled Gemini Spark, which is a 24/7 AI agent that works in the background while your laptop is closed, alongside Gemini Omni, Android 17, the death of Chromebooks. I personally think they were dead for a long time, but and the 60% price cut on Google's top AI subscription. And we'll close with we'll try to close with conspiracy theories, but if we don't have time, we'll close with the most consequential week in AI history. OpenAI filing for IPO at a potential 1 trillion valuation while losing money for every dollar of revenue. Anthropic hitting 10.9 billion in quarterly revenue and its first operating profit. Andrei Karpati leaving to join Anthropic. The Trump White House killing its own AI safety executive order after 3 tech CEOs. I think it's Musk, Zuckerberg, and someone else, but I have the full details. Called the president. A supply chain attack that hit GitHub, OpenAI, and Mistral through a Trojanized VS Code extension. An AI model autonomously solving 8-year-old math problem, and Pope Leo XIV publishing the first ever papal encyclical on artificial intelligence. I think, Marco, you shared something about that on your Twitter as well, right?
Yeah, I just want to add, yesterday Anthropic announced a new investment round. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
Billion or something, and 950 billion valuation.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a private round, so no IPO. It's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't know why with all the IPOs, I think, I would say they would probably maybe want to hurry up, but I guess they have a different strategy.
Yeah, I'm really curious. It's going to be such a fun time afterwards because suddenly there's going to be thousands of new millionaires. Because everyone that's been at Anthropic for like a year or two should be a millionaire now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
yeah. There's that's a small team, right? Like 2,000.
I don't know. I thought more.
I don't know where. I have it in my head. It's like 2,000 people or something like that.
I don't have the numbers.
Anthropic is doing crazy numbers. I mean, especially with the revenue and how it's multiplying. Oh my god! And that's actually actual revenue. It's not just throwing some stuff around when it comes to compute and data centers and all that. It's crazy. But I like it.
Gemini says 3 to 5K. But yeah, sorry, Michna, I just wanted to add because I saw it yesterday.
No. It's fine. We haven't started yet with we could discuss some casual stuff as well. I've been testing cars for the past 2 weeks. I need to buy a new car. My old one broke, so I've been testing all the Chinese models, the EVs, the plug-in hybrids. I did like the BYD, the Sea Lion 7, the 530 horsepower one.
I think
it's nice. It's
like
nice.
Is that like a mini SUV?
It's like the equivalent to the Model Y.
Y, right? Yeah.
It's nice. It's really luxurious. I mean, most of the Chinese models are luxurious, but I don't think they nailed the driving experience yet.
But compared to the Model Y in your country, is it that cheaper that you consider it?
No. It's actually a bit more expensive than the Model. Oh, everywhere it's. Yeah, the top of the line model, the 530 horsepower. No, it's cheaper than the Tesla Performance.
Okay.
The 3.5 second one, but it's like it has a lot of options, and the quality, the interior quality is way better than Tesla's.
I mean, for me, the major kind of differentiator with Tesla is their autopilot. I mean, that's so good. And I kind of trust it. I don't know if I would trust right now a Chinese self-driving model yet.
But they're renaming it because it's not really on autopilot. It's not a self-driving. So they're actually renaming it in Europe to some, I don't know, assisted steering.
Yeah, that's again regulatory bullshit, because the problem is that it could drive itself. The regulation doesn't allow it to drive itself, and then because the regulation doesn't allow it, they need to change the name, right? It's like.
But I saw an article this morning that they were testing the self-driving capabilities in Amsterdam, I think.
Yeah, Netherlands.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to get it approved there, and I don't know if you're then able to passport it across EU. But Netherlands is definitely the entry point to FSD in Europe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we're calling Marco with this topic.
Sorry, we're losing him. Let's go back.
Cars.
Go back to AI.
I was looking for emojis to downvote and everything, but it doesn't work.
Downvote. Why? It's tech, Marco. It's tech.
Fair enough. That's why I'm starting to get into cars, because it's tech and not hardware anymore, but still.
I mean, honestly, I've been a petrol head my entire life, and I could never understand EVs. And I had a BYD for 3 days. I drove it a couple of 100 kilometers. I hated it in the beginning because I was anxious about the range. But then driving it through a busy city, now I understand why EVs are so cool. And it's always on, like everything is always on. AC is always on, ventilated seats are always on, like everything is instant.
I've been a petrol as well, right? And I have petrol cars, but there's no better daily than a good EV. I actually, if the Tesla's at home, I'm gonna take the Tesla all the time, But even for long drives, it's not problematic. But and I would say they are enjoyable. The instant torque, right? Feels like a go-kart. So
I don't like it. I mean, I kind of feel sick to my stomach. if I live like a straight in a straight line, I tested it. I tested it a couple of times and I felt sick every time. But I guess you get used to it. So
no. The thing is, when you're testing, you're pushing it to the floor.
Yeah.
And I had the same thing when I was testing a performance model. It was an S or an X in ludicrous mode, right? That's really fast. And you actually, after a few accelerations, and when you're testing, you're doing it all the time, you feel like a little bit of stomach ache or stomach sickness, as you would be on a roller coaster. But you're not doing the fast accelerations in normal life, right?
Of course. No, I could definitely live with it. The bad thing is I don't have a house, so I get by having solar panels and everything and free charging. That's the ideal scenario. I don't know if getting an EV and while living in an apartment building, like without a charger.
I mean, with oil going up and electricity where it is, that it might even be more economical, even if you charge it on public charge points. But I think we need to move to something else, because we're going to probably lose Marco, but the audience as well. You just,
but
you're
have
to rename it to a car podcast.
I know, but just to close the topic, as a general opinion, because I tested a couple of models. I tested some MGs, some Cherries, some Omoda, I think. So most of the premium Chinese models, they're nice inside. So they try to sell you with all the extras, right?
Yeah.
But the driving experience is they haven't nailed it. Like the body roll is bad. It doesn't sit in the corners. Neither of them do. So they don't quite understand the driving mechanics. What makes a car great?
I mean, they're constantly start traffic. So
exactly, exactly. But for those things, they're great. Okay, let's get to it. Sorry.
I just one thought I would test out, and I think Marco, you said as well. If they brought the Xiaomi one here, that I would test and drive.
That's nice.
Yeah, that looks amazing. Like
there are a couple for sale in Romania, but they're like super expensive.
Yeah, of course. All right, go. Let's go to mass extinction.
To mass extinction.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the first one, the protocol. You mean?
Yeah.
I have some numbers.
Yeah, let's go.
So over 40 protocols ceased operations, were entered wind down between January and now. As I said, over 770 million stolen DeFi hacks. In April alone, roughly 28 to 30 exploits, 606 to 651 in losses. It's officially the most hacked month in crypto history. 13 plus billion in DeFi TVL fled in 48 hours after the KelpDAO exploit alone. And KelpDAO and Drift protocol accounted for 88% of April's losses. 47 separate incidents in the first 4.5 months of 2026 versus 28 in the same period of 2025. A 68% year-over-year increase, and of course it's most likely due to AI, right?
You know what this reminds me of? When you're saying, the Bart and Homer Simpson meme, this has been the worst day or worst month in my life, and then Homer comes, yet. Because you saw the, I think the announcement from Anthropic, I don't know, it was yesterday, the day before, that they're releasing Mythos soon to general public, right? So if we got all of this now, based on all the fanfare from Anthropic, how good Mythos is, it is scary to have any money in any contract, man.
But I assume that few were actual contract code exploits.
Sorry?
Very few are code exploits.
That's true.
There was a big discussion recently again on Twitter regarding open source and how risky now crypto is because of AI. I don't know. I mean, it's really safe because it's been open source for many years and really smart people have looked at it for a long time. And it's also used for auditing, AI. So I don't know. I'm not that worried about code exploits. It's still always human engineering. And that's way easier now with AI because you can just mass manipulate and try all kinds of employees to get in. But just smart contracts, I think, are rather safe.
Yeah.
Even if you go through this list, Michna, if you want to share the screen, most of them shut down not because of the actual hacks, but mainly just like operational problems, no more funds.
But what do you think about, I think it was yesterday, the Open Zeppelin co-founder saying on X, I don't trust any contract. And he is basically, the gold was standard of contracts, That was, to me, that was like, what the hell, guys? Where are we now?
But then if you check the comments, most of them were disagreeing with him.
True. obviously we don't want. I mean, look, I still believe, DeFi has a really good use case in crypto. I think permissionless money, it's something that we should still have as our main goal, right, for crypto, and not just money, just financial instruments altogether. And I think you don't have it mentioned here, Micha, but if we look at Hyperliquid, and yeah, I've been bullish on Hyperliquid ever since we started. Yeah, I mean, we deployed W3 trading there a year ago, and how they were able to, really just put the spotlight on crypto tech and how it can be used in TradFi as well. It's crazy how well the pre-IPO stuff is doing, the weekend trading of commodities. Now having exposure to TradFi assets, via normal crypto exchanges. It's crazy good. I mean, at least for me, the jurisdiction that I'm in, it's sometimes it's cumbersome, to get money in, out, and getting even access to all the platforms, so to me that's so good. So I wouldn't say it's all doom and gloom, but it's a problem where, if you look at TradFi as assessing, using blockchain crypto for this stuff, and then having so many experts. But you're right, we need to emphasize that mostly it's human error, not code exploits.
And I assume like Mythos being released to the public will have some guardrails in place, right?
I don't know.
I mean, Anthropic pride themselves on guardrails. So
I mean, I think it already in the past we were able to jailbreak these AI through the correct prompts. So I don't think you can really, if it's problematic, I don't think guardrails would help here.
Yeah, the only hope is that they used it before for kind of good reasons, and they already notified people that had some ready exploits.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, we discussed this. It's a question. Was this just a marketing campaign? It's so good that we can't release it publicly, or was it a compute constraint? I mean, the partnership with XAI, right, or Elon, XAI, so they can run now on Colossus, right? Maybe explains it more that it was more of compute constraint, where if they release it to the general public, people would consume the token so fast that you wouldn't have any real usability of it, and you put a spin on it that it's so good that you won't release it now, but you already have some benchmarks to share. I don't know. It can be a little bit of a little bit of everything. But
it's obvious they needed more computation power because they just released Opus 4.8 now.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it yet.
Yeah, and even as a user,
was it this morning or?
Even as a user, you felt it. They really limited how much usage you got, even with the 5x and 10x subscriptions. You quickly ran out for a while, but then they instantly removed it, and now I never even look at the usage tab anymore.
You and your army of agents. But with Anthropic and Karpathy joining, Marco, I know you've been following the guy for a long time. What's your take on that?
It's weird because you go from like co-founder of OpenAI, and now you're just one scientist at Anthropic. But I guess he likes it. He just wants to do really interesting research, and I assume he has full freedom to focus on what he wants to do. And then his kind of side stuff of being educational and onboarding people into AI. So it's fascinating. I've never seen a company that is so hot like Anthropic.
Yeah.
Man, the one of the founders sat together with the Pope a couple of days ago, and they discussed the future of AI and humanity. It's like, holy moly. Yeah. And I knew people from back then that work at Anthropic at the moment, and it's impossible to reach them. They just ghost you. I don't know if this like internal policies that you're supposed to keep like outside contact to the bare minimum. It's really incredible.
Unless you're the Pope, then you can get access, right?
Jesus.
Still, like, I don't know, what's the comparable company that was so hot? I don't know even if Apple was that attractive to everyone. I assume everyone would want to switch their job at Anthropic.
Yeah, I mean, with the pace that they're releasing stuff, and how things are going on the financial side as well. Yeah, I don't think there's any other company you'd probably want to, work at if you're in the AI field at Anthropic right now. Yeah, for sure. And I think it was Anthropic even that did they announce that they're gonna be in the, was it them in the IPO that if you're buying shares on these secondary markets or SPVs that they're not gonna count it?
Yeah. That's still a whole shitstorm I haven't understood. I assume you're more into it.
Yeah. So SPV is a special purpose vehicle where you have somebody that has some. Apparently, they are supposed to have some shares where then you buy a share of those shares, right? At a certain valuation, right? And Forge was a very well-known platform where you could invest in private companies, through these SPVs. Even Echo, had SPVs in more classic companies. Kobe's platform, right?
But the difference being the SPV is actually on the cap table at Echo.
What?
The SPV is actually on the cap table at Echo because they're officially part of the round. But this is secondary where someone with shares sells their shares even though they're not transferable.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, SPVs can be different than here. I think it's the latter, as you said, right? Where you're basically selling non-transferable shares forward. So there, yeah. I mean, I was surprised.
What I don't get is still, why is it such a problem for Anthropic?
I mean, I guess like even with the latest round, they want to have more control over, where the funds coming from, who's, because even with like SpaceX IPO right now, they're saying this is going to be an event for retail to get burned, right? There's so much money that was made during the private rounds in SpaceX, that the majority of retail will probably get rinsed, and especially how I think the conditions are set that, I don't know, 30 or 35% of the IPO stock is reserved for retail, which usually is like, I read somewhere, that they're making it kind of, very accessible to retail. And usually with stuff that's very hard to get, they're not very nice to retail. Retail is the backholder usually, right? And even the unlock schedule for the shares, it's I guess they're saying it's geared towards the quick divestment. And yeah, I don't know, the valuations are getting crazy, right? I think it's trading right now on Hyperliquid at what, 2 trillion or somewhere there. Was it even higher now? Wait.
Oh, SpaceX?
Yeah.
Holy, okay, wow.
I haven't checked it.
The pre-IPO markets, that's provided by Trade XYZ, but you can even trade it on, so SPCX is the ticker, and now they changed. Yeah, okay, they changed it. I forgot. They changed it because now you're actually I think now you're just trading not on the valuation, but just how much the stock price will be. And that's a little bit problematic now, because if they decide that the cost per share will be too high, right? And they say, okay, we're gonna dilute the share 10 times, so the cost of share will be, I don't know, instead of $220,
right,
then this price, I think, goes to $20, even if you're buying it right now. It's at around $200 per share for Hyperliquid. But
I see they lowered the IPO, the valuation to 1.8 instead of over 2 trillion.
No. Yeah, I mean, that's the official IPO. But you have Trade XYZ, the pre-markets. They were used in, what was the last IPO that they referenced the pre-IPO market quite a bit. Oh, I forgot. It was this month. It was also on S. Shit, I forgot. Because it was crazy. You had this picture from, and I think it was real. I think it wasn't photoshopped. At least I didn't see any comments that it wouldn't be real. A guy from, I think it was from the trading floor or something, doing a selfie for the launch, and there's Hyperliquid UI in the middle of the screen. They were actually looking at the pre-IPO valuations on Hyperliquid. Let me just try to find the valuation right now, because right now, yeah, I think they're trading on price. So I think this 200. No, I'm gonna be speaking out of my ass if I say anything right now about the valuation. But let me just see SPX.
But then Anthropic is cheap. If SpaceX
Yeah,
is
yeah.
double the price of Anthropic or valuation, then come on.
No, Anthropic is one close to 1 trillion is actually yeah. This valuation is actually okay. Yeah.
What? Okay.
So May 28th. And so here we go. Yeah. The pre-market valuation to dip below 2.4 trillion right now. So at this pricing is above 2 trillion on Hyperliquid. Yeah. Or I mean the markets is provided by trading.
Anthropic is 900 billion now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean probably higher upside, but depends when will they go public, right? I mean, they can go private for a long time. If SpaceX went private until 2 trillion, right? You could do the same thing. I think OpenAI is rushing a little bit towards the IPO to catch this market momentum, because generally I think the reception is a bit worse for them. Even though people are saying Codex is great, all that. Yeah, and maybe I mean, Elon will definitely appeal the decision of the court. So maybe they'll try to IPO before there's another another trial on that, because once it's IPO'd, you probably there can be some damages, but you won't be able to make it a non-profit anymore once it's past IPO.
Yeah, that's done anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
and OpenAI is losing money.
yeah, that's also true. I mean,
they're losing $1.22 for every $1 of revenue.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see that stat. Damn.
That's 25 billion annualized revenue against 30 billion in annual spending. That's not good.
No. Oh man.
But I guess it's not that bad as our DeFi space, right? A lot of protocols shut down. Have you been using like Tally shutdown, right? Nifty Gateway.
I would say I guess this is a maturation of the market, crypto market.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the meme coin season of Solana was kind of the death blow, where you were getting tokens, every second they were pumping, and the money was sloshing left and right. And now, if you really can get on-chain exposure to, all these semiconductor companies, these energy companies, AI companies, right? And the volatility in those companies right now, it's meme coinish like, right? So why would you trade something that doesn't have any underlying value except just selling it to the next idiot? Why wouldn't you then go to more serious assets and then just focus on the crypto projects that are delivering? For me, if I look at what I've noticed in the past few days, it was mostly focused on privacy in crypto, here, obviously, we're still working in this space right now. I think the majority of the narrative was taken by obviously Zcash and Near, but you can really see that the money is flowing towards value. Hyperliquid is an obvious one. Like there's nothing. I mean, the token is going crazy. Probably the ETF flows are influencing that. That there's a lot of TradFi money that wants to go, that wants to get hype exposure. But yeah, I mean, it's very concentrated right now. I would say between Bitcoin, Zcash, and hype. And okay, you had some small pumps here and there that I wouldn't count as too relevant. But yeah, it's I think this consolidation is good. So that means that people now know how to value, right, the projects even in crypto, and that means that valuations of the tokens of the project that provide value will go up, and not just the market as a whole. Even though I'm seeing again charts of altcoins, or there's just some people drawing trend lines, of Bitcoin dominance and how we're at the lowest level, so it should bounce. Maybe, look, I don't know, but long term, I'm not too optimistic on the several thousands of crypto coins, but just focus
exactly. No, I guess the protocols that will survive this will actually have to prove that they have a generating money generating model.
Yeah,
because
sure.
if you're not, then it's not just about NFTs and such, but even other DeFi models like wallets and lending protocols are shutting down. If you're not generating revenue,
I mean,
you're kinda
crypto
out
for a
in this
long
stage.
time was money distribution. So it came
Yeah.
through VCs. Oftentimes it came into the ecosystems, L1, L2s, and they distributed further via grants, etc.
Yeah.
VCs are just looking at AI, I assume, except for like the very specific ones that do only crypto and still believe heavily. Ecosystems are pivoting a lot into their own product. I think that's the story with most L1s, L2s. So it's really tough for new projects.
Yeah, I mean, they're competing basically with established foundations that are now moving into more direct to user products, right? Then I mean, we're doing the same here with Oasis, right? Moving into Privana, which is basically the UX or the user-facing culmination of all of our tech, right? It's not that everything before is useless or worthless, right? It's very much it's very important in the current developments, right? It's just that we didn't have a good team that would implement it to a degree that it could gain proper adoption across the space. And we just took it upon ourselves to do it. And I think here, I mean, I'm very excited for the launch. It's happening quite soon. Some information is already out there, but I think it's just we need to now execute and not just hope for the best, but execute that it's going to be the best.
But talking about Constellation, I just checked CoinMarketCap. Still, like Cardano, Stellar, Litecoin, Memecore, even maybe Avalanche. I don't know, Kronos.
Yeah, because there's still liquidity. Like,
but what are they doing? I don't get it.
I don't know.
No, but I would say that's also
it's just being traded. I think they.
But the
valuation, look at all the protocols that shut down in terms of management, and still the coins are traded and generating volume and profit. So it's not everything is about fundamentals and real world uses. That's for sure. We still
For me, one of the biggest surprises is that Bitcoin Cash is still in the top 20.
Yeah, dude, like that's crazy.
I don't know if everybody lost their Bitcoin Cash and they can't sell it, and that's why it's at this price, or I mean, because okay, let's be honest. I mean, okay, volumes still seem a bit high on some of these, right? Am I seeing this right? Wait. This is dollar amount, and with Bitcoin Cash, it's 440 million traded.
Yeah, but wasn't there recently a report from Zach XBT regarding like these smaller market makers that were just faking volumes, pumping shitcoins? So
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of
I really hope that this at some point has consequences for those people. I think this really kills crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the liquidity got spread thin, right? Thinking, I mean, especially, you're thinking you're going to a coin with a lot of volume and liquidity, and then, you want to trade something and it's a small fraction of the volume that it's doing. It just craters the price, if you sell it, or it just pumps like crazy if you buy it. So yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, we had such crazy times in the past that it's going to take probably a while to sort through all of this. Yeah, maybe we're going to need a new coin market cap, that does a different sorting mechanism.
Exactly. We need a new coin gecko V2.
Yeah. Tell me one thing, guys. What do you think about Ethereum, and not just ETH as in each price, but Ethereum as the ecosystem? We again saw some long posts from Vitalik, and a lot of departures from the ETH Foundation. What's your take here? I'll go last.
I think people are losing faith in the foundation and in the project overall. That's why we're seeing so many people leaving. I like that Vitalik is still has his beliefs and still sees it as one of the most important things in crypto. I don't know. It's hard to keep a project of this grandeur alive when so many people are leaving and protocols stop using it. And I don't know. That's just my take. I don't see it as big in the next 3 years as it is now, and now it's not even that big anymore.
Yeah, I look at it with a bit of a sad eye because Ethereum was my first love. Like after I read the Bitcoin white paper, I obviously got instantly into Ethereum. I was like, holy shit, this is how systems should be built. I was a big Vitalik fan. I went to the very first Zuzalu in Montenegro, met lots of people. Him. It was a really cool community. And I was hoping Ethereum would become what Anthropic is now, kind of this hottest company. Everyone wants to work there because it's this new entity separate from government, separate from financial systems. We're really building something from scratch. But unfortunately, you always need humans in leadership. And not talking about Vitalik, but just in general, because they kind of steer where Ethereum goes. There was lots of discrepancy there in the ideas. And I guess now they decided we just want to be one player in the Ethereum ecosystem. But I don't think that's going to work. Like they need to be the stewards. They need to be initializing all the new forks, etc. And unfortunately, they lost it a bit. But I am still, just to finish, sorry, very pro Ethereum. I still think it's the only credibly neutral chain and space where you can host applications, identities, whatever, and it's not going to be manipulated, because that's the benefit also, because there's no one entity that can just stop this whole thing. So I think for lots of use cases, this is still going to be really attractive, but it's not going to be this massive builder ecosystem anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would definitely agree. I was, same. Bitcoin and ETH, the first two, that I bought. Big believer in Ethereum for a long time. The problem for me was, the leadership. I think, Vitalik left it to to a group of people to kind of steward it, lead it, and that had some different ideologies, and that I think influenced too much on the political side, not enough, on just the technical side. And plus, there was some technical mistakes made, right, with the whole L2 ecosystem. I think it was kind of a vampire attack on just ETH, liquidity. So ETVL plus ETH users, right? Because let's be honest, all the L2s right now already behave as just L1s because they're all at stage. Majority is at stage 1, right? So they can almost do whatever. And if they decide to split off, I would assume that it's fairly easy to do so. Introduce your own validator set or some mechanism of consensus. And I agree that Ethereum is probably the next to Bitcoin, or the only smart contract chain that you can say is sufficiently decentralized, that is censorship resistant, that you can basically do whatever you want on it. And I still have a tiny bit of hope that Ethereum can come back, but I don't know if it's not looking good. I mean, the competition right now is not, I would say, from Solana anymore, how it was, in the past, Solana taking over, flipping ETH because it's faster, it's more, it can churn more, has higher throughput. But, looking at Hyperliquid, how they're executing so strategically when it comes to, the products they build, how they execute, if you'd have that execution on ETH, ETH could be, oh my God, something really amazing. But unfortunately, I think, when you grow that big, I guess there's some altitude sickness on there, and you get slammed down. It's like it felt like ETH was behaving as nobody can take its throne, But obviously, incumbents will always come and try to dethrone you. And I'm more bullish on Hyperliquid than Ethereum in terms of what can be done in terms of execution. Hyperliquid still has to do a lot on the whole neutral, decentralized layer. That's
a lot.
Right.
A lot comparatively.
Yes, a lot, definitely. But
I don't even know if that's their goal. Like, do they need to?
I mean, to an extent, if you're how Hypercore was designed was more on offering the product that the users want. We'll see if there's going to be pressure from the regulatory side. They established the policy, how's it called, the Hyperliquid policy something in the US that helps with just pushing the agenda. And I don't know if you read it in the morning. The CEO of ICE, who owns so the New York Stock Exchange, NYSE, said that he's been meeting with the Hyperliquid team, and it's amazing what they did. So they are trying to get Inways in the US, but there's a lot of FUD around Hyperliquid, exactly around the regulatory side, right? They're unregulated right now, so they're basically how do you call it, bad faith actor or bad faith competitor to the whole US market. And if they want to really so that's a funny thing. They're having a lot of conversation in the US, right? And people are looking at that. I forgot what was the IPO that I need to check. I'll check later. And they were saying, oh yeah, you're checking this market, but you can't really trade it because you're not supposed to, because you're in the US, right? So maybe they will, if they want to really, push it through in the US and not be the entity, that's in control, because Ethereum got classified as a commodity, right? Not a security. So maybe, the path to being as well a commodity, not a security, is that you need to be sufficiently decentralized to be able to do that. So I don't know. We'll see. they have smart people working on this with experience in the US. So yeah, I'm curious to see it, but maybe it's going to be forced due to other regulatory claims that the US might have, that they need to go down the Ethereum path. I would love it, honestly. Sorry, I went on a ramble around about Hyperliquid.
No, it's good because I don't see them as competitive with Ethereum. That's why it was good, just if you clarify.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, Hypercore, no, right? But they are gonna. I mean, Hyper EVM is still there, right?
Yeah, but it's always going to be focused around DeFi, about their DEX. So
true. It's mostly financial, but beyond, I mean, financial and AI, do you see any other area? I would say, okay, some ZK identity stuff I think would be really neat if we could have it on blockchains, right? And use ZK proofs for that instead of having those honeypots with all people's data. But I would say, let's say, beyond these three, right? Privacy for data, crypto, DeFi, and AI. In terms of some for AI, you can have a lot of use cases, obviously. But beyond that, what do you see as good crypto use cases?
But that's the thing. Like, for example, the way Ethereum was built was never intended to be for AI or agents. But now suddenly it makes lots of sense for like the machine economy, agentic payments, etc. And suddenly these things like being incredibly neutral make sense. And you have big teams now working on this. That's why it doesn't, to me, really matter. And as long as Ethereum can survive, there will be those use cases, as I said, that really need neutrality, censorship resistance, like the classic blockchain values that everyone was supporting, but only there they truly exist, in my opinion. That's why, yeah, of course, I still think positively about RWAs. I still think even like something like gaming will potentially have a game that runs on a chain, but it really doesn't matter to me.
You hold any ETH?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's likely still my biggest position. Okay. But also I haven't invested new funds into crypto in a long time.
More in AI.
Yeah, private equity, private stocks, regular stock market. So
yeah, I mean,
I say let's wait until a big institution puts their money on chain and a hack happens, then we'll see how good decentralization is.
I mean, you have a lot of this. What was it? BIDO by BlackRock, or who was it? Right, the program tokenization program. They have put a lot on chain, but that's I mean, that's a representation of something that's held, I guess, off chain, right? So I don't know how you look at institutions, because what Marco is saying, and that's correct, right? Ethereum is incredibly neutral, but your deployment, you can still put in guardrails. So even on centralized institution can come with their own set of guardrails, that are clear to everybody, that's using the product. But you don't have limitation when it comes to the underlying chain, right?
And I think the one big thing that's going to unlock them is privacy, because that's what they're lacking.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How much time do we have? When do you have to leave, Matej? 10 minutes, 15?
I need to jump in 10. Yeah.
In 10. Do we want to quickly touch upon the recent layoffs, Coinbase and Meta?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Because I find it's funny, like everybody's doing layoffs for because of AI, and now they're saying that engineers are less expensive than engineers using AI. So engineers need to stop using AI now.
Yeah, true.
So it's become quite expensive. The usage is getting crazy.
Yeah, there is going to be a shift where suddenly you have to think about the actual cost of AI, because now you're just like, oh, amazing. One prompt, I can have an agent do research and create some slides for me. But then you actually check about the token consumption and you see, hey, this slide deck cost me $100. Still, it's worth it compared to having a consultant that has to do research, etc. But it's not trivial, and I think it's still heavily subsidized by big AI, Anthropic, etc. I mean, OpenAI, as you said, they're still losing like 20 cents on every, or $1.20 on every dollar. So it's going to be very expensive to extensively use AI, but also moving forward, it's going to be cheaper because models are going to get smaller, and you will have way more alternatives also to running local models for enterprises. But it's a funny shift. I agree. In the beginning, everyone was like, "Hey, use AI as much as you can," but now it's like, "Hey, wait, actually, our bill is exploding."
Exactly. And like I get it. In terms of efficiency, it's better to have a person and managers becoming workers as well, right? So not only managing, no pure managers as
I think
Brian Armstrong.
the middle layer will get taken out first, right? So if you were just managing and not producing anything, you're out. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, player coaches. They need to be managers now. Need to be player coaches, right?
Yeah, basically.
My pitch when I kind of do cloud workshops or something is always everyone is now a part-time engineer.
Yeah.
And if you don't embrace that, you're gonna be gone.
True.
So that's
I mean, for
AI native means. But then when I look at these layoffs, for example, the big one that went viral on my Twitter was from ClickUp, where they were also like, hey, 25% employees cut. We're going to now have like 100x engineers, 100x employees, and we're going to introduce a new salary bands for those people so that they can earn like $1 million a year. But I'm like, man, but first fix your product. It's not great. I mean, 2 times like, what are you talking about now? Everyone is super productive, but where's the actual result? Where is the output that I can? It feels like it's something new. Like it doesn't matter if you can do it with 10 employees, but the product needs to be good if you're selling something. And that's something I haven't seen anywhere, to be honest. Everyone is like, oh, we're so much more productive, but what's the result?
Yeah. Plus, AI usually goes into the direction you're kind of turning it to. It's not really arguing with you, right? So if you're on a shitty product, you have more shitty ideas, the AI is just going to accelerate you toward that goal, right?
Exactly.
And if you use
and I don't know how
it's not going to be original because it's just going to be like the average of the data sets. It's still prediction. So
true.
And I don't know how productive people are when you're cleaning after it half of the time. So
I mean, but that depends on you. Like,
yeah, of course.
If you have good harnessing and you have connected lots of context, it is incredible how much faster you are. What's changing for me is I'm just still working way more than before because I can do so many things in parallel. Like the agent can be writing 5 PRs, I can write here my Forbes article, etc. So the output is just also way higher, but my input didn't decrease. So I don't buy the story that that it's going to just replace humans and we won't have anything to do. It's just like, if you embrace it, you're going to have way more to do.
Yeah.
Because there's really no bottlenecks here except for you and your attention span.
Yeah. And your just originality and ideas.
Yeah. And attention is actually a big topic for me because I hand over lots of the thinking to agents and then I just review. And I feel like, fuck, I'm a bit dull in the mornings. Like I first need a meeting with a real human where I have to in-person talk, I have to think, I have to be spontaneous. I can't just see a terminal. I'm like, oh, I'm going to check it in 10 minutes. And then I do something else. I play a round of chess. So for me, focus is becoming really tough with all the work to agents. It's really frustrating. Yesterday, I built a focus agent for myself. He's called Tito. And every morning he opens up, it's a voice interaction with the real-time API from OpenAI. And we just talk for like 5 minutes. And he is like, hey, I saw this is in your backlog. Why are you stopping? And every time I switch and open Lead Chess or YouTube, it also fires up. It's like, hey, what's happening? Do you really break? Yeah. So I have to kind of build now these systems to keep my attention span because I'm really struggling.
Okay, that's smart. You should productize that. Honestly, yeah.
Now there's hundreds of things to productize. I don't know. That's
because
one Yeah, go ahead.
Let's stop you because somebody else will steal your idea. But no, honestly,
No,
there's a lot of apps on your phone, right, that limit screen time, different guardrails in place for apps, and they work for Mac OS as well. Like there are apps that limit websites and stuff like that. But somebody that pops and like you talk to it to an actual AI product, you should release this on the App Store.
Hey, now I said it, anyone can build it. I just needed it for myself. There's so many things to build. And building isn't the problem, right? The problem is distribution. So how am I going to get millions of users and actually make some money with it to be worth it for me to invest the time into a product that someone else uses? Because for me, it's like, if it's not perfect, I don't mind.
But tell me one thing, do you see this shift happening in general public as well, or this is maybe more common in, let's say, our circles, that we are actually creating products and building that people probably won't be building this shit for themselves through, LLMs, but they're still going to use apps, pre-built apps for what they need. What do you think? Or they're going to go for ChatGPT, I was thinking I need this, or Claude, I need this, and it builds it for them.
I mean, it's not yet happening because you need to have a rough idea of what you want to build. But I think moving forward, it's going to happen. So my brother, he's very non-technical. We sat down and he told me like he's annoyed by his inbox. There's lots of spam. So I was like, hey, you can build a browser extension with Claude. And we did it in like an hour. So he clicks, the AI screens the emails. It filters out the ones that are spam, puts them in a folder. And he was like, oh, holy shit, I can build an extension. I didn't even know. So, but it was still too much for him to do it on his own. But I think if this gets easier and you can just explain your problem and AI is so good that it can build the right solution for you, I think it's going to be adopted way more. But currently, I actually see lots in my personal world, this anti-AI movement.
Really?
Lots of people are hating on it. They think it's just destroying the environment, utilizing all the water for data centers.
Oh, you're in Germany, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like really lots of people are very against it. But it's mainly non-white collar people actually.
Oh yeah? Oh, okay.
Because for them, they don't really have a use case according to them. Like they don't know how to use it.
It's the best thing that ever happened, and as you said, I can do so many side projects now that would take me, so much time at home, to do, and now it's just you're clicking away, just basically supervising the agent how it's working, giving inputs, and you have it done. It's crazy. Okay, I'm really gonna jump.
The biggest problem is the attention span now. Okay, we can cover the rest in the next episode, right?
Cool. Yeah, the conspiracy. Sure.
Exactly. We're at the 1 hour mark anyway, so
and we don't need to wait a month. If you want to do it earlier, we can.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Of course, yeah. Let's just do it. Yeah. Honestly, there's too many topics that I choose for one episode. We never have the time to go through them, so yeah, we can do them every 2 weeks. Let's say, right?
Nice.
Sure.
I'm down.
Okay. Thank you, guys. This was an interesting episode. I guess we'll see everyone in 2 weeks.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
We need